Hello everybody, this is TSdL, Season 8, Round of 16. We have Arcadeus versus Hayl. Joined by me is Airy, although he's not currently here, but he will be here shortly. Taking a look at these boxes, Arcadeus still seems to be running Goldswell is perhaps the most interesting choice here. We also see Lusty. It is a very good Lusty map, so still, Lusty is just as we saw the other day, or even yesterday, that Lusty, sure, she can get one kill, but that's just one kill, and lots of units can get one kill. Regardless, she still has great range and great mobility range and an excellent kill range, so it's just great on that front. Everything else is pretty typical. Again, other than disposal, and so it does seem that Arcadeus is leaning more so into an AoE style with this box. Burn 2, Himiko, Helena, and then just, a Lustrial for an assassin. Maybe Arcadeus just generally runs one assassin and likes Lusty enough on this map to make that the choice. As for how we saw his box, it is a very tank push oriented box. 2 tanks, 3 if you still count 3 if. Again, Juggler is a bit hard to say whether or not he's a tank these days. There's so many people that can dispel so many buffs and the thing is, Juggler is so very dependent on his buffs in order to tank. If he doesn't have water, he's just not really a tank, and even still against mages, he just takes so much damage, and he's so reliant on 100% HP condition from Last Rites too, that it can just be really hard for him these days, at least as a main tank, I think. It's not to say that he can't work, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be banned to make that functional. Yeah, just lots of heals. It's a 4 healer box. Mariandel 2 for additional healing, Arcadeus to help stall, and he has another off healer. Yeah, 4 healer box, and more of an AoE lean.
It's definitely both definitely probably gonna play AoE, so we're probably looking into first-band Rosen here for Arcadeus.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if both first ban Rosin. I guess Hayl needs to do it a lot less, but there's still quite a few units that care a lot about that Rosin. And Hayl's likely going to first pick Langrisser, like we've been seeing him doing, unless this Langrisser gets banned. Bans Ham, which is also fair.
Yeah, Hayl will always ban Ham. There's a reason for it.
He's really good against Langrisser.
Yeah, and Hayl Langrisser is actually OB, so Ham actually can kill him.
Yeah.
It's interesting Arcadeus actually choose to ban tanks.
Well, from what we know about Hayl, not only his playoff matches, but as well as his TSdL matches, he is through and through a tank push player. So, maybe Arcadeus researched that a little bit, wants to try and put Hayl out of his comfort zone. Likely we're going... what actually surprises me more is that then Hayl doesn't ban, like, Lucretia TSdL here instead. I mean, you pick Liana to help deal with the debuffs, but if you want to like have an off tank and burn at this point, I mean, I guess there's just no tanking at this point that can be done. So Hayl's gonna have to play a different style here.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting.
Yeah, picking up Lucretia because Arcadeus exactly its specs, an off tank burn. Instead, Juggler gets picked, which also makes sense. Hayl banning out TSdL, giving double mages while you're trying to tank mages with Juggler is a big recipe for death. That's also why Ironblood Chancellor gets banned out here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think Hayl's trying to negate as much AoE as possible. Like, what he's trying to pick is like, heal. Juggler is actually another AoE heal.
Yeah. And Arcadeus bans out Wedum and Epsilon.
I can pretty much taste or know what Hayl gonna pick next. Because already set up for it.
Mariandel? Yeah, just bring out
As
all the
for
heals.
Arcadeus, actually not sure what he actually is supposed to pick. I guess he can just go all the way AoE.
What about Lusty?
I'm not sure Lusty is actually good against any of what Hayls have left.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking maybe kill Liana, but if with Hal you like kill one of his healers, and it doesn't really matter because he has another.
No, I'm not sure whether actually he can kill Liana, because Liana has that infantry too.
I forget how Lusty's animations work, not gonna lie. I think if she brings Bone Dinos it kills, but I'm not positive.
Yeah. Definitely, but we don't even know whether that's actually still a fuller Lusty or not.
Yeah, true. Arcadeus is being picked up here as a sort of deterrent to Dog, can really be a menace to Dog in endgame.
Well, Hobo is actually pretty good as well for Hayl. Just to maybe just stalling Hayl.
Yeah, we did expect Mariandel, but instead we got Arcadeus, which it does, it prevents Kruger from bringing Sorks, right?
Yes.
And it also can preempt this Lusty pick a little bit. I mean, there's still a lot of ways for Lusty to get around, but if you put the tiles in the center of the map, that does limit her a lot more.
The thing is, Arcadeus not gonna be able to play AoE, like especially with his next pick. Like he's definitely gonna get another healer. Next one, Hayl would definitely pick either Sophia or Mirandel, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Mirandel. Already set up for it.
Yeah, and Hal just banned out the healers. Hal wants to play the game where I just outlast you. I just keep out healing and you can't kill my units, and eventually I'll be able to wear you down. And whereas Arcadeus is banning out IBC and Werner taking out just the DPS basically, probably the most threatening DPS.
Well, I think Arcadeus is gonna go full AoE then.
Yep.
Yep. So
And we see
Hayl. Yeah, as expected.
How do you feel about those healer bans? Like, I was thinking you banned the DPS, but I guess when you're playing AoE, right? But AoE is already gonna be so hard against this team.
That's the thing. Because there's so many veterans. Like he's actually pretty much have 3 healers. And he's got Landius to actually give the aura plus the soul. Yeah.
I don't know, just especially because Arcadeus is going to be running without a healer, Lana seems really threatening to just walk in and drop an AoE, and Burn can be by the same token once he gets in and his sword dance, this entire team's crippled and they don't have a good way to restore from it. I mean, I felt like you had to give Hal another healer here, even if it doesn't necessarily give you... I guess maybe Arcadeus is just kind of screwed?
Yeah, he's gonna go yellow in. All out AoE. He's gonna pick Alina.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no way you pick Ola.
Yeah, well, Hayl can pick whichever he wants. Yeah. Well, knowing Hayl, he probably does more comfortable with Bernhard.
I liked Lana more, but I think both are fine, I agree.
Yeah. I do like Lana more too, but I think Hayl is much because if he just sword dance, there's not much Arcadeus can recover from it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Arcadeus also can't really recover from Alana Heaven Sanction, which has a much easier time reaching. What I was thinking.
Yeah, and Bernhard can just stay back and play the stun. Like if Himiko comes in, just stun her.
Yeah. And also if Helena comes in, Burn's gonna do a lot of work against her and really reduce her damage to like nothing.
Yeah, so it's very typical Hayl picks.
Crystal Warlock's Kruger, which as we've been discussing, likely means that this Kruger is on Warlocks, although against this team it doesn't matter too much. Mariandel is also on Warlocks, so again you can assume it's Dropner.
So he's definitely gonna go turn 2. It's just setting up the team here.
Faction buff for Kruger. I think maybe bring Mass Attack on Lucretia instead.
Yeah, I would do that.
I mean, she brought it anyway, so so you don't need faction buff on Arcadeus. I'm putting Gospel on Juggler and.
Yeah, well, Hayl's probably just gonna wait and let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, just come in, fight me.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Arcadeus doesn't have a team that can hold the center at all. So, it doesn't matter if... The only reason Hal has to push up is the fog is going to kill you.
Well, Kruger is actually pretty good because it's definitely gonna dispel something. Oh my god, how much damage is that?
Yeah, just
like half and actually have the Landius aura too.
Yeah, that's why Mariandel's so good. It's not that she just responds to the AoE damage, she also hits the crap out of your team, and when you're running with a healerless comp like that, it's just starting to get really crippling, because there's a lot more AoEs coming from Hal too.
Not only that, Hal also has Act again, so he literally can answer to anything that Arcadeus can throw right now.
Mariandel does die, so Arcadeus is up a unit, but this sword dance kills Himiko? Yep. The Mariandel AoE enabled that. And here's the thing.
If he attack, he might die, isn't it? He might die.
Yeah. And there was no other good target there anyway. I mean, what, are you gonna jump into hitting dog and do nothing anyway? And just the residual AoE damage over and over while Arcadeus comp has no longevity. This was pretty much a ban pick loss.
Yeah.
Arcadeus killing with AoE is not something you see every day.
Interesting. I think if he actually bring this spell, he might have killed.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Arcadeus concedes. There's nothing you can do with that. Wow. You see her close. I haven't seen her in a long time. Picking out a Sissy for close, in fact. I guess... Yeah, Hal's crazy, man. I guess the way Hal sees it is that close is a much better answer to all the debuffs that Arcadeus has here, and yeah. I really like the act again, and I think that Sissy continually healing is still good enough against AoE, especially with how many sources of healing Hal has in his box, like Mariandel and yeah, but...
I quite like the Yulia swap though.
Good for busting turtles.
Yeah. Because Hayl is really like turtle to the root, basically.
And Arcadeus recognized last game that maybe the problem was that Arcadeus didn't have enough healing to be able to handle Hal's AoEs, so takes out Lusty and Helena and puts in Florentia in place of one of them for another healer, so now it's a 3-healer box, and also Yulia, who can provide even more additional healing, so... Makes sense that you still first ban Rosin, and you first ban Ham, because Hal... Yeah, well, Hal's gonna probably first pick Liana again. Okay,
Yeah.
this time he first picks Landius.
Landius. Well, he put close now, so he actually have to close. So I don't think he's scared.
Yeah, but he had 4 healers last time, so he still could have done that.
Yeah, but CC is actually not great against AoE.
Yeah.
Especially debuff as well. So close. But knowing Hayl, he's probably gonna pick. Well, I think he's still gonna pick close. Yeah, close or Mirandel.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's still a pretty big debuff comp. Bans out Bozel though, but still Autocrado, Himiko are on the field. Kruger immediately getting picked. So, as a defensive player, you do want to have some sort of answer to that.
So, Arcadeus actually, I would keep going banning Hayl Q, to be honest.
Yeah, just, I mean, there are still so many. But I'd like, what, you ban Juggler Mariandel? Maybe not Juggler, but maybe IBC Mariandel?
Definitely Mirandel.
Yeah.
I would actually ban Dog as well.
Yeah, I was thinking Dog is the biggest deterrent to your AoE getting through. IBC is pretty good pick. She does have a fairly good matchup against Landius. It is a little troop dependent. You probably expect Landius to want to bring Royal Cavalry against IBC, so that means you want to bring Amazons, but Landius could, 200 IQ you and bring Guardian Infantry instead, so, I mean, it's a coin flip, right?
Yeah. I still haven't. Do you think he can pick his Juliana next? Because I think he still need to ban Ham and IBC in order to pick Julia.
Well, like we were talking about last game, as player 2, you do get the advantage of deciding how to respond to player 1's pick. Now at this point, you know that you can ban 2 things that would potentially hurt your 3rd pick, so Ham is definitely a really good choice against that. IBC too?
Yeah, if I'm Arcadeus, yeah, I'll definitely, like, if I want to pick Julia now, IBC, I would ban IBC and Ham.
Yeah. Hands burn, but Sword Dance can also be pretty threatening to a Yulia pick, but interestingly, picks up Florentia here. It is a 2-healer box, or it was a 3-healer box. I guess Arcadeus got worried about a healer getting banned out. I think a more aggressive pick needed to happen here.
I still don't feel that a great pick, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the plan is that Arcadeus wants to try and turn this into a tank push game, but after you pick the Florentia, there's a pretty good chance... Is Hal gonna ban Hilda? I don't know. I mean, what, you ban... I think you ban the DPS instead, and Yulia is definitely going to be the biggest threat to this composition, so Yulia's going. Past that, I don't think Hal is going to ban the mages, so Himiko,
yeah,
Yulia...
Hal's probably not going to ban the mages. It's definitely Yulia, and I'm not even sure whether he wants to ban Himiko or not.
Yeah, it's like Himiko or Oldius, and I mean, again, you could ban Hilda, but Hal just doesn't have a comp that cares that much about it. It's AOE, right? So. Yep, the ban's
But he can pick IBC and ban Hilda. But he's just going for AoE.
Yeah, Arcadeus wants to turn this into a tank push game. Fans out the Juggler because even supposing that you do have Hilda that can easily knock Juggler off your tank, then it's still an action that you have to spend. It's still mentally taxing to always be keeping that in mind that your Hilda can't move until the Juggler moves, even as player 2. And you just ban IBC because IBC also has a pretty decent matchup against Hilda, and she's a mobility booster. She's additional healing, which looks more like what Arcadeus wants to cut at this point in probably Oldius?
Well, he's probably gonna pick Oldius just to buff up Kruger.
Yeah.
There's not much he can do with teleplay with Lolly Jess as well.
Hal's just gonna play in range of this tank.
Yeah.
So it pretty much has to be Oldius, and there's no way Hal picks Hilda here, right? He's gonna.
No, well, he might pick Hilda as well. Like, if he it's, to be honest, it's very tough for Arcadeus now. But his last 2 pick isn't great against Hayl's last 2.
Yeah, so what you're saying is it doesn't matter what Hal picks?
Yeah, but I think Hal's gonna pick Hilda.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I don't think TSdL is coming.
Oh. So Arcadeus is definitely gonna pick Hobo, yeah.
Not much to talk about the skills here. This is AoE Lana, for sure. Kruger, Dark Dragon Breath, 3C, just everything else will be standard. This flow is not going to run winning strategy or anything. Yeah.
Actually, Hayl has more AoE than the right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or same?
Yeah, I think it's the same. So, we were talking about that Landius mind game. Hal just decided to bring Guardian Infantry. Thankfully, Arcadeus did not bring Amazons, because that is the worst thing and that could happen, bringing Amazons into Guardian Infantry, and instead just brought Sandseas, which would have been bad against Royal Cav, but Royal Cav can potentially be countered by Amazons, so. And it is AoE Lana, as you can tell by the Redeemers.
To be honest, isn't it still best that IBC bring unicorns versus Landius?
Yeah, you're right, because the chances are that Landius is not going to bring green troops against her. Like, I can see that totally. You're right, unicorns would be the choice. I mean, at the end of the day, it just depends on how big into the troop mind game you want to get. I would dare say it's basically RNG. You don't know what your opponent will be thinking. So Arcadeus leads, brings up a Kruger AoE, Close puts up Aurora Ring. This will dispel every single buff. Oldius was buff blocked, so he won't get the healing. And now Hal has extremely good action economy on these heals. Every time somebody moves, they're basically going to get totally fully healed.
Lana is there just to support AoE.
Yeah.
Her buff. It's not gonna do a lot of damage.
It's just to keep Arcadeus' team injured. That way, the single target can't accomplish anything. And Kruger's just the only strong AoE here, but already Hal's just basically totally healed up, so Kruger has to really get something done with this AoE. Get some heal blocks.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Hayl runs Bracer, right?
On
Definitely Bracer on his healers.
Yeah, I would imagine Close is running Bracer. She needs it pretty bad. I guess you could. Not yeah. She needs it pretty bad. Just for keep Last Rites up, Eva and the Silence immunity. But yeah, as you can see, Close just uses 2C and 3C, and everybody just stays fully healed. At this point, Arcadeus already used his singular AoE heal from Flow, so she does still have 3C. You can handle that a little bit. The clock on Oldius was fortunate. I mean, you can keep pushing Hal back, but I think eventually these AoEs are just going to wear Arcadeus down.
Yep, one's already down. And Florencia also not the greatest when it comes to AoE.
Yeah, she's not the best AoE healer for sure. I mean, she can get the job done, especially with like another healer, but by herself. If she dies,
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, she doesn't heal herself.
Yeah. But Kruger is getting some stuff done here.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate the other AoEer is not as
strong,
potent.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to attack with Oldius here because you want to put up the Gift of Eternal Life heal onto Kruger. That way he doesn't die to another AoE coming from Lana. I mean,
still not another one coming from
Marindel might be out. I'm not sure if she clocked. She's used 2 skills. I mean, this could be a Kruger solo carry, man, because Close is out of heals too, and the Aurora Ring effects are all gone at this point.
Yeah, Kruger is very powerful, but he doesn't have any more attack up.
Yeah.
Landius can buff though next turn, because the AoE is back.
So that's Close dead, right? Okay, I think Kruger doesn't have an AoE right now.
No, he has. He 3C debuff.
Oh, he knows that Close still had the heal block up on her, so he can afford to buff Kruger first to maximize.
Oh my god, that Mariandel's heal.
Yeah, it's insane.
It literally keeps it up. Like it I guess it should have just AoE with Kruger earlier.
Yeah, I guess Close would have died. Lana's out of the picture at this point. She's still silenced for another turn, so there will be 2 turns until she can do anything. Everybody's still injured. Kruger should have Dark Dragon Breath up.
Yeah, Kruger should have another AoE. Oh, interesting. Maybe not then.
Or just took the kill because he knows that Mariadel can respond to the AoE after that, right?
Yes.
Oh, Close is still heal block.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah.
Kruger is the MVP.
Yeah, Kruger just carried the hell out of that game. I don't know who got swapped at this point because we've seen so many box swaps, which I love to see. I'm so glad that people utilize them more and more. It looks like Arcadeus is going even more in on the healing, bringing in this Liko.
This is actually good. Like, Arcadeus knows he has to somehow either pressure Hayl hard. Kruger is actually one of those that actually can just constantly spamming AoE.
Yeah.
And debuffs.
And Liko too can. I mean, not only is she a healer, but she can also help contribute to this AoE combo against Hal's very obvious AoE strategy at this point. Hal taking out Lana and putting in Kira instead for some additional healing of himself and plus maybe some counterplays. It can be a bit rough to be player 2 Kira. And I imagine these bans are going to go pretty similar. First ban Rosin, right? First ban Ham. Will Hayl pick Lando?
Well, interesting. I didn't actually expect it. I would think Arcadeus is still gonna pick Kruger. Yeah.
Yeah, Hayl still picks up Lando.
Because first P1 Kruger is actually really good.
Yeah, and like looking at it, what is Rosin that good against this box?
Now it's awkward. Like I'm not sure why he picked Rosen.
She is good against AoE, and Hayl is an AoE box.
Yeah, but the thing is, Hayl is also runs very slow box. You want to be on the offensive.
Yeah, I see your point. That well, I mean, I guess the rationale is that if Hayl is trying to slowly wear you down with AoEs, then Rosin will be pretty good against that, right?
Yeah, but what's the problem with like the total turtle? Once you turtle if you do not pick your strong counter on that, like losing a Kruger pick, I think is quite big here.
Yeah, Kruger was very strong last game, and
like even if he get Bozo also actually pretty good pick. Like if according to like if he follows his last game bans.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like just given how the AoEs over and over and over and eventually overwhelming him worked really well, but now Arcadeus wants to try something else and see if he can outstall Hayl instead, I guess. I mean, I guess that's part of why Liko came in, and maybe it'll be based around this Yulia.
Yeah, no, no, he has to go to Yulia.
Yeah, this is we're gonna try and get Yulia super set up so nothing can kill her.
He's gonna pick Arcadeus next, I guess. But if he pick Arcadeus, definitely it's gonna be very stally.
Well, same bans from both players. Both ban Kira, IBC. I can't fault either of it. What about this Werner pick? Why do you think Hayl picked Werner? Because this was
Werner is a safe pick, to be honest.
He is, but I mean, it's Werner doesn't really do anything against Yulia, right?
Yeah, it's just not like Assassin generally doesn't. It's not too powerful against Yulia, because Yulia has like a lot of health.
Yeah, and Yulia doesn't really care if you're like killing the stuff around her, because then that means she's gonna go and kill your stuff.
Yeah.
I guess Werner can kill Rosin Seal here. Can't kill Arcadeus, but can potentially kill Lucretia. It's iffy.
But with Hayl's styles, he needs one hero that can actually kill something. Like he always pick that way, especially like with Werner pick. Basically, he doesn't mind having him as the only DPS now.
Yeah, and I guess if you look at the ban pick at that point, I mean, it's between like Werner, Kira, IVC, and I guess Rosin's gonna nullify the healing debuff from, so it doesn't matter if you hit Yulia with that too much. Kira, Werner's fair. I mean, you got a faction before, Werner's fair.
Yeah, again? I think that, what was his last ban earlier? Arcadeus and
Mariandel.
Yeah. The way Hayl usually goes, he as I said, he doesn't mind going all the way things, and Liana is pretty good, especially as a P2. He can play like the act again, just kill something over and over again.
Yeah, just wait for Arcadeus to come to him, and I mean, Hayl does not exactly have something to zone Yulia, and killing her is kind of pointless, so I suppose Yulia does eventually reach, and then the plan from there for Arcadeus is you have Lucretia to take advantage of that after Yulia locks down Landius, right?
Yeah, so Arcadeus also can play a hard tank push now. He can actually pick Hilda.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think Hilda's good.
Yeah. Hayl probably gonna answer with, if he pick Hilda, Hayl probably gonna answer with either Bernhardt or his dog.
Yeah, I was thinking either. I was thinking dog, but I think Bernhardt might be a bit more effective. Hard to say. Because Yulia, I mean, she does have 3C these days, but she can still bring Holy Justice and dispel the crap out of dog.
Yeah, and it could be awkward with Bernhardt as well, because he might not be able to bring his werewolf.
Yeah. He just gets picked up. Both things Burn or Dog do not like to see, but nonetheless.
I think we should look at, because he's got another tank. So he's gonna play the slow. So I guess Odi is gonna be picked next.
I'm thinking about that T-Jess pick instead of Hilda pick. Instead of playing tank push, Arcadeus is opting to bring in the teleport support. So Yulia can get into Landius' face as soon as possible. And both these mages, their goal is to not attack this Landius. Their goal is to get Yulia centered down, locking down Landius. Then both Lucretia and T-Jess can jump in and start killing other stuff. Which might be...
but the thing is, he's leaving the other tanks.
Yeah, which...
So that might not be as effective.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I mean, there's dogs who could potentially bring Magic Guard, but there's still Hilda. Maybe ban Hilda instead of Sophia? I guess...
Yeah, that's probably okay, to be honest, because if he's gonna play disabled tanks, like, you don't want to give them too many tanks.
Yeah. I think Odious.
Like, disabling one's hard enough.
Yeah, I think Odious is the right choice there. Liko is not gonna do much against the Liana dog. Like, it's just pretty her damage isn't great. At least Odious is locking down dog's mobility a little bit and can push dog off people, that sort of thing. Can even punch dog at least reasonably hard. And we see close instead of Hilda, so I was just like, I'm just gonna out heal. I don't need another tank. Will we see GDB on Juggler? I wonder.
Probably not, to be honest.
Yeah. Pretty standard openings here. I would imagine Rosin brought Miracle. He should have anyway. Interestingly, Werner brings Firebrands. I guess you do expect Yulia to bring Unicorns. There's no other great reason to run them, and I mean, Werner 3C...
No, it's to kill Lucretia, one shot.
Oh, yes. Thank you, sorry. Yeah, that's solely to use the Firebrand Snipe plus Werner's after battle fixed damage to just one-shot Lucretia cleanly. And Templar Knights on Landius, I guess that's because you know Yulia's gonna bring Unicorns, so you can't bring Guardian Infantry like you'd like to against these mages. But again, the mage's goal is not to hit the Landius to begin with, so... Yep, so we see immediately Yulia's coming in. But there's not a lot of support for her.
Isn't it too early?
Yeah, this is There's not a lot of support.
So it's a drop near Yulia, so he might actually die.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ouch. Ouch.
That was definitely too early.
Yeah, you needed to wait. I mean, there wasn't great follow up. Like, I think if any...
Now, to be honest, I do not know how Arcadeus can win.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you do want to teleport Yulia in to get her closer, but you don't necessarily need to teleport her in that close.
Yeah, you don't need to like rush her.
Yeah, you do want to teleport her in just to give her some extra spaces and mobility so she's closer to them to begin with. But then after that, you still want to wait until your TSdL teleport is back up, right? So then TSdL can capitalize off the lockdown.
How's that? Who is it? Werner has a very short range at turn 1.
Yeah.
So basically he's just sacrificing his Yulia for nothing.
Yeah, you could have put like Yulia over here or something, and she would have been out of range of the.
And he should know like his Yulia is not mid ring, so there's a chance that actually he's gambling on that thorn. To be honest, I think.
Yeah, because if thorn happens, then that does kill the Werner, right?
But to be honest, that's not. I would play it a little bit safer.
I mean, yeah, you're gambling on a 30%. It's not in your favor. Simple as that.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, congratulations to Hayl for advancing to the round of 16, and better luck next time to Arcadeus.